Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. This is Todd with Industrial Comfort. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these really cool colored spline joints for your box corners. Now what's really cool about these is that they make your corners look amazing, and you're really only limited by your creativity in terms of the colors and the patterns that you use in these joints. Now the key is the type of wood that we're going to use here, and I'm going to explain a little bit later what this is and where you can get it. It's a pretty easy process, and it's not too dissimilar from making any spline joint for your box corners. So let me show you how to do it. I've created a sample corner for this demonstration, and I'm going to be using my spline joint jig to create the slots for the splines. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description that will show you how to make one of these from a previous video. You're going to need it to create this spline joint. Now, in order to determine the spacing for the splines, you effectively want to take the width of the workpiece and divide by the number of splines plus 1. So in this case, I want to create 5 evenly spaced splines. So I'm taking the width of the workpiece, which is 3 3/8, and dividing by 5 plus 1, or 6. That's going to give me roughly a 1/2 inch between each spline. So I have pre-adjusted the fence here to ensure that I'm going to hit the midpoint first. Then what I'll do is back off by a 1/2 inch in either direction, run the workpiece through, and then flip it over and run it through again. And then we'll do that one more time to get our 5 slots. Now, before you do that, you're going to want to adjust the height of the blade to make sure it's where you want it. Now, you never want to go all the way through the corner here, or else you'll have a mess on the inside of your box. So in this case, I'm going a little bit over halfway through to create these splines. So let's start cutting. With the slots now cut for these splines, now it's time for the fun part, which is using this colored wood to create any pattern you'd like. Now, the beauty of this wood, of which I've got a bunch of extra pieces, is that it's dyed. So when you sand it, the color won't come out. Now, you can get this stuff online. If you just look for dyed wood, there are a number of places that sell this. I know Etsy is a big seller of this stuff. I think you can get it on Rockler and Woodcraft. But it's really neat stuff, and it's approximately a 1/16 of an inch, which matches the kerf of the saw blade, which is the width of the saw blade at an 1/8 inch. So approximately 2 of these pieces sandwiched together will create the same width that you'll need for your spline joints. So let's glue these up and see what we get. Okay, we're ready for the glue up now, and I found through trial and error that it's a lot more helpful to glue these pieces of wood together before you attempt to insert these into the spline slots. Now, the reason that you want to do this is that the pieces of wood without being glued together are very fragile, and oftentimes you have unequal pieces of wood, as you can see here. So it's easier to get an even, firm, consistent seat on the bottom of the slot, but it also adds a lot of structural rigidity. So if I were to try to insert these without gluing them together, oftentimes they split, they crack, and they break. The other thing I would recommend is giving them a very light sand on either end, because the fit tends to be really tight, and this just allows them to slide in a little more easily. So let's go ahead and glue these up. All right, now we'll let this set up and we'll be back to finish it up. The glue has had time to set in these joints, so I'm going to go ahead and use my bandsaw here to remove the extra material before we bring it over for sanding. If you don't have a bandsaw, you can use a saw or any other implement that you have in the shop that will cut through some wood. Okay, with the extra material removed from these splines, I'm going to use my random orbital sander to bring this down to about 150 grit. All right, time to get a little oil on this so we can really see the color shine. Look at that. It's going to make your box joints look amazing. And that's how you make colored spline box joints. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.